What's going on, everyone? Good morning. It's a gorgeous day in the neighborhood. As you can see, blue skies. There's the south. We are getting ready for our Hurth transmission removal. This is no doubt the biggest part of the job, you know. So what I'm using is, like, you know, a regular mechanical jack and two hydraulic jacks. But these jacks, you know, you got to remember, once you're done, you know, propping and doing what you need to do with them, to do a support underneath them, because they will go down very slowly, you know. So if you're talking about of a couple days ordeal, they will go down. So you need to, like, make sure to prop them up. And here's our engine. This baby there is brand new, that's why I have her covered. Now see, that's the transmission that's coming out. Okay, so that's a Hurth transmission, and it's not all that heavy, but it is quite heavy, and we're gonna try to remove her by myself today. And the way we're gonna do this, like, you know, I'm gonna use those jacks, you know, the hydraulic jacks, and put underneath the exhaust manifolds right on the beam there, and prop the engine up, you know, on both sides. And once I have achieved that, I can go ahead and put the mechanical jack underneath the bolt, just for extra, underneath the engine, just for extra support. And then you know, I gotta take those 5 bolts off. I think it's 6 bolts from the transmission, because that's the bell housing and that's the transmission. That's the bad boy that we want to take it out. Now also, this is already disconnected. It was my prop shaft. That was quite hard right there, you know, because you know, those are a hardcore bolts, so they're really tight, and to get over there is a little tricky. So, you know, weird position with 2 Allen wrenches, you know, but I was able to do it, no problem. So all right, let's prop this engine up and get this transmission removed. All right, I cut a few pieces of wood. I want to put those pieces of wood, you know, underneath the engine to make an extra support for the engine, because I'm gonna raise the engine with jacks underneath the exhaust manifolds. But still, you know, you never know, like the jack slip or something happens, you know. I want to make sure that the engine is also sitting on a secondary platform. So, you know, my idea here is to put these 2 over here going sideways like this on the bottom, because got to remember that the side of the bolt does this, right? So I'm gonna put 2 of them to, like, kind of level things out. And then I'm gonna put you know, this one going from there to there. I measured, that's kind of like where it would sit right there. And then plus that one on the very top here. And then my bell housing will be resting on this. So then while I play around with jacks and everything, you know, anything happens with those jacks, the engine will do nothing but sit on this, and everything is still safe. All right, this is where it starts to get interesting. So see, I have a 2x6 pass right there, and I have propped the bottom of the engine. See, as you can see, I have the wood over there. It's all dirty in there because water of the exhaust was in there, and that's like rusty water, but you know, I gotta clean that. But see, I have the engine sitting on that right there. That's just propped up against the engine, but propped on the bell housing. Okay, so once I take the transmission off, you know, like of course the engine's still gonna be propped by the jacks here, but just in case anything happens to the jacks, the engine's still sitting on that wood over there. So that's pretty awesome. And now see, I have this jack system set up right here. See, like I am going to this is rated for 350 pounds, right? That transmission, it's 80 pounds. So I'm well within, you know, working range, and I can jump on this, and I'm like, you know, 160 pounds. So everything's good on poundage there. So I am going to crank this while, you know, bringing the transmission up a little at a time, and see how I overlapped a second line. See, and if you pass it, you know, if you wrap it around kind of like a coil, if you notice, see, like when I'm pulling, see, like by the time that it ends, like see, she overlaps itself, and then it tights. Now if you try to pull the other way, it's not gonna go. She's biting against itself, you know. See, like it will not go. I mean, we did it there, but of course, see, like I'm gonna pull. Once it's tight, I go ahead and I tie it to this engine right here, and boom. And now I have time to work on everything else, and, you know, move the line again so I can crank up more. And one-man ordeal. Let's get it done. I'm about to unscrew the transmission, I mean the motor mounts right there. But one thing that I want to stress out is that on the jacks right here, what you really want to do is come and mark with a marker the level of the shaft of the jack, okay? Because then you can always go back and look at the mark and see if it moved or not, you know, because these hydraulic jacks, I don't trust them, you know. So I mark it and I make sure that once I'm done I prop everything with something that won't give, you know. So let's get to it. So after taking the last bolt off, like as you can see, the transmission popped out fairly easy. And here I end up using the 2-jack system, you know. So I have 2 jacks right there, those straps. So I crank one at a time, and so in case one were to fail, you know, you would catch on the other one. Yes, I do wish I had a better jack system to do this, but this is all I had at the time. And if you follow the channel for a long time, you would know that I hate waiting and I just like to get things done. And also, this transmission is only about 80 pounds, so any grown man should be able to just pick it up, you know. But so yeah, here I'm just finishing jacking it up. And once I get to a certain height, I'm just gonna grab it and put it on top of that 2x6, and mission accomplished. This part wasn't as smooth as I would like, but hey, we still got the job done. See, after I picked up the transmission, the throttle and transmission cable got caught on the transmission, but I couldn't really take a hand off of it, you know, because it's slippery and round and oily. So first I had to, you know, get myself straight so I could take a hand off of it and release the cables from it. But once I was able to do that, you know, I was able to take her out with no problems. Thank you everyone for stopping by, and if you're not yet, consider subscribing. This transmission actually came out because we are dropping a brand new engine on this boat. We just did the other side, so this is the sister brand new engine, and will be a quiet fun project. So if you're not yet, consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the very next episode. Bye bye. That's how we do it, boys.